Hey there, welcome back to Frames TM. Today I've got some exciting news to share with you straight from a very trusted source. Now, before we dive into all the details, I want to take a one quick moment to ask you for a favor. If you are enjoying the content that we create here, please hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Because you know what, you won't believe it, but it's staggering 90% of our viewers do not subscribe to this channel. I don't know why. It doesn't really take anything away from you. So if you get any value out of this channel and if you want to support this work, all you have to do is press that subscribe button. Now, we have heard a rumor that Nikon is set to launch a telephoto zoom lens that will blow your mind. If you're into bird and wildlife photography or even sports photography, this lens might just become your new best friend. The buzz is that Nikon is planning to release a 150mm to 600mm telephoto zoom lens for the Z mount. So remember the Z8, remember the Z9 and the upcoming Z6 Mark III and Z7 Mark III. This is exciting news for the mount, okay? And it's not a 200 to 600, it's not a 200 to 500, it's 150 to 600. As you wait for the official announcement from Nikon, the rumored launch window is sometime in July 2023. That's just around the corner, folks. One thing that sets Nikon apart from the competition is that no other brand, such as Canon, Panasonic, or Fuji, actually have something like a 200 to 500 that Nikon had for the F mount, or the 200 600 like Sony has. Now, Nikon really started this trend of this affordable telephoto zoom lens of a 5.6 or 5.6 to 6.3 when they first launched the 200 to 500 F mount. And Nikon seems to be taking the lead again in catering the needs of bird, wildlife, and sports photographer, but to give a lens within budget. Now, here is an interesting point to consider. The Nikon lens is rumored to have a focal range starting at 150, while the Sony lens starts at 200 mil. Now, that's significant. Why is that significant? Because, well, being able to zoom out wider to 150 mm can actually give photographers an incredible advantage when tracking birds in flight or wildlife in action or even sports, because it provides a broader field of view in order for us to sort of find your subject within the frame. It just makes it easier to locate and follow your subject. Now, this could be a game changer for those capturing fast moving moments. Another intriguing aspect to think about is the weight of the lens. The Sony 200 to 600 mil lens weights, the weight is around 2,115 grams, which is quite substantial. Now, the big question is, can Nikon manage to make their lens lighter? I don't know. If they're able to pull that off, that's going to be a significant advancement. If they can strike a balance between weight and performance, that could make a significant difference, especially during long shooting sessions or when traveling. And it can even be a reason for a lot of other people from other systems to actually switch to Nikon. So, reducing the load of the lens without any compromising on picture quality, image quality is really the dream come true for many photographers. Now, to put things into perspective, this lens will be a direct competitor to the Sony's 200 600 millimeter lens. Now, a 200 600 is equivalent to a 300 to 900 mil lens on an APS-C camera. So what can you expect from this new upcoming Nikon lens? Because a 150 to 600 mil lens and a potential Z90 or Z70 in future, an APS-C professional Z body in future, sounds like a match made in heaven. I think it's a very interesting combination. Also, let's not forget about the price. While you don't have any official details, there's speculation that the Nikon lens might actually be more affordable compared to the much older Sony version. If that turns out to be true, it could open up incredible opportunities for a wide range of photographers to step into the world of super telephoto photography without breaking the bank. Now, let's talk about some other important factors. The Sony lens has teleconverter compatibility. Will the Nikon lens take the 1.4 or 2.0 teleconverter from Nikon? I don't know but that's an interesting prospect. If these teleconverters can be used, these are high quality teleconverters, especially the 1.4 4 teleconverter is very high quality. If Nikon allows us to use the teleconverter on this upcoming lens, it's going to be very, very good news. And Nikon should, because the direct competitor allows you to use the teleconverters. So now, what about Nikon's next moves? I think there is going to be a D500 replacement because that's the demand from the market. Okay, and I seriously think, no matter the efficacy of the Z8, I still think a lot of people would actually want a second body, and they would like to that body to be a, you know, a DX body. So a D500 replacement is a will be a great move by Nikon. Now, whether that's going to be named Z50 Mark II or Z70 or Z90, I don't know. But I think D500 replacement is important for Nikon and from the Nikon shooter's point of view. Also, the 500 PF, I recently shot with that lens, and but I think there's a huge performance gap when you use a native Z mount lens, especially in fast shooting conditions and when it's telephoto, versus F mount adapted to the Z mount. So I think Nikon should, and they're probably already looking at a replacement for the 500 f 5.6 PF. Now, do I expect it to be a 500 5.6? I don't think so, because we already have a 400 4.5, right? So I think a great move from Nikon would be to actually launch a 600mm 5.6 PF. And I'm expecting Nikon to add something like that to the lens lineup soon. Let's make it within 2,500 US dollars and not no heavier than maybe 1,300 grams, right? Or 1.3 kilos. I think that's about it. I think it shouldn't be heavier than that. So I think the future looks fantastic. I just came back shooting with the Sony A7 IV, the X-T5 and the Z8 with the 85 1.2, the 135 Samyang with the Sony, and the Sigma 56 1.4 on the Fuji X-T5. Now, I have to say, the Nikon Z8's autofocus is so far, I mean, especially in photo shooting, it is so far ahead of the Sony. Suddenly, I was shocked. Because there's so much, I was actually shooting um, in a sort of in a foresty area, okay, and there's a lot of foliage and small tree branches and other stuff in front of me between the lens and the subject, and the way the Nikon picked up the eye in falling light was crazy. Okay, so there's a lot for me to discuss in the coming few weeks. I would say for the next 3-4 months, my content calendar looks packed. There's a lot for me. There's a lot that I have to say. So stay tuned to our channel for more updates and more news on this upcoming 150 to 600 lens and other exciting camera gear, Nikon gear news. And do not forget to subscribe to this channel if you want to really help. There is a thanks button, and try the links in the description box, because even if you click on the links, that helps me, that allows me to keep my Amazon affiliate going. Now, I'm not pushing you to buy anything, but explore, see the stuff that I use and the stuff that I like. I don't have a Z8 link yet, but the moment I have it, I'm going to put it down there. Okay, so again, if you have liked this video, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment about your expectations on the next Nikon lenses and what you think about the 100 to 150 to 600 lens. I think that's an interesting decision by Nikon, and if it comes out, it should come out very soon in July. And what else are you expecting in the Nikon lens lineup? Because to be honest, there's not much left. There is the Super Telephoto 150 to 600 now, the 35 1.2, likely to be a 1.2, and the 135 1.8. What else are you expecting? Are you expecting a range of DX lenses? Are you expecting a range of tilt and shift lenses? What are you expecting? 3D lenses? I don't know. What are your ideas about the Nikon lens lineup? Because there is not much conversation from Nikon on that, and I think the lens lineup needs to be refreshed. So I'm very curious to see what Nikon can produce next, beyond these lenses. In fact, why not a 1.4 line? I think that's a very very important lineup. In fact, the two things that comes to my mind is a lineup of 1.4 lenses and a line primes and a lineup of f4 zooms. Okay, these are the two things that I'd like to see, and I want to see a 28 1.8 with the kind of character and quality of the 50 1.8. I'm really looking forward to these bunch of innovations from Nikon. So thanks for watching the video, and I'm going to catch you soon with another video next week.